Welcome back to The Late Show. Folks, my next guest is a CNN political analyst and Republican strategist who is one of the president's fiercest critics. Please welcome Ana Navarro. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. I'm used to seeing you on CNN, where you're quite critical of the president.
Mm-hmm. Proudly so.
Right, yeah. But tell me a little bit about your history as a Republican political consultant. Tell me your CV here.
Well, look, I have been a Republican. I'm an immigrant. All right, proud immigrant.
Where'd your family come from?
I came from Nicaragua.
Okay, sure. It's a wonderful spot.
In 1980, I came here when I was 8 years old. Republicans at that point were against communists. This was, back when they were like against Russian oligarchs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
That's how old I am.
Sure.
And I've been a Republican since I was 8 years old. Donald Trump has been a Republican for 8 minutes.
Oh, you're right.
I was a Republican when Donald Trump was a Democrat and when he was an independent. And so there's no way in hell I'm going to let that guy push me out of the party where I've been for my entire life.
Well, I admire your fortitude, but there's no denying the Republican Party now is the party of Trump. There's no one in the Republican Party who dares gainsay Trump when he wants something because they're afraid of the base. Hasn't the party left you, as some people often say?
Look, I think most Republicans who dared oppose Trump either lost elections, quit, decided not to run again, or died. There is precious few left. It feels like we're on a little island of Republicans in exile, Republicans who actually remember what Republican principles and Republican convictions used to be like. There's a lot of people who have compromised those principles and convictions in order to accommodate a man, a president, who's pretending to be Republican and has no principles or convictions.
So let's just imagine for a moment there comes a day when he's willing to leave the White House, okay? Okay,
okay, wait, let's enjoy the moment a moment. Tell me more. Describe it in more detail for me.
They drag him out by his fingernails. Okay, so when that day comes, what happens to all the people who didn't stand up to him in the Republican Party? That is a hot black tar that they will never scrape off their body.
I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a while for the Republicans to ever go back to what they were. I think you're right. Donald Trump is now the titular head of the Republican Party. He has staged not a hostile takeover, because there are willing fools and people willing to sell out their souls in order to go to a White House Christmas party.
Okay.
And look, I don't blame them. I've been to the White House Christmas parties. They're really nice. You can even steal napkins and things from the,
I've done it.
Yeah,
I've done it, yeah.
You can stuff as much as you can in your pockets. Always go to the White House with pockets.
Very important.
M&M,
Now, on CNN, you're known by occasionally busting out props. This is you busting out some popcorn. Do you remember what this was for?
Let's see. That's got to have been for one time when something was so absurd and surreal, I thought I was watching a movie. Maybe it was today.
Gonna be. You also, you were talking to a fellow Republican who supports Trump, and you started filing your nails while he started talking.
Oh, yes, I remember that. That was when I was asked to give an opinion on something that, what's his name? Donnie Jr. had said. And, really, I have no interest in opining on what he says. He wasn't even good enough to make the nepotism hire cut in the White House.
He didn't actually get hired. Yeah, exactly.
When
do you decide to pull out the props? What's the line for you to decide?
When it's really just so ridiculous that I think picture speaks 1,000 words. Okay. Being asked to comment about Donald Trump Jr., whose really only call to fame is Donald Trump Sr. is something that really deserves nail filing.
Okay. Can I see the nails? Can I see them? They look good. They're on point. Now, Roger Stone, today in court, had an extended gag order.
He walked right into it. I mean, he is so stupid, and he is so much Roger Stone. Roger Stone is so aptly named because he has got the intelligence quotient of a stone. How are you indicted? How are you in this serious legal situation and playing around threatening a judge? You don't do that in the United States of America. Move to Venezuela or move to Cuba if you want to do that.
Now, there's
not only, we should really take it seriously, because let's remember that in this country, there are judges who have been killed by triggered and crazy people.
Oh, well, there's the fella who was just arrested the other day, the guy from the Coast Guard who was arrested the other day who had all those weapons and he was going to kill judges and politicians and
Right.
members of the media.
Right.
You know, I'm sure CNN might have been a target of, we're on the list there.
I have several colleagues and friends who were on that list. It is very serious, and that's why when the President of the United States keeps calling the press the enemy of the people, I take it seriously. I will never get used to that. This is not a place where we censor free press. Free press is a check and a balance on government. And anytime anybody in power threatens that check and balance, it is a threat to our democracy.
What can you're also on The View on Fridays. What can you speak on The View that you can't speak on CNN? How was that different as a gig?
Oh, like, for example, I can now proudly say I can tell the difference between the 5 Kardashian Jenners. There are 5, right? Are they 5?
I haven't the slightest
3?
idea.
4?
I do not care.
Well, it has broadened my pop culture bandwidth, which, you know, I mean, I'm a news junkie, I'm a nerd, I live in a bubble, and I now know who Tristan somebody is. He cheated on somebody. He
What?
cheated, yes.
He cheated?
This has been on the news now for so many days, it's actually going to force me to Google him.
Be careful. Google can be very dangerous. There's a lot of bad things on the internet.
As long as I'm not using the internet to communicate with Guccifer or Russian hackers, I think I'm good.
No gag order for Ana Navarro. She's on The View on Fridays. Ana Navarro, everybody. We'll be right back with a performance by Ben